Hi everyone and welcome to today's thank card. It's Friday. Today we'll be making this Timeless Elegance butterfly card and using the designer series paper from Stampin' Up. Now we're going to start off with the designer series paper here. I love this rose and I'm going to die cut it with the bold butterfly stamp set, die. And I will be using the actual background version. And both dies, framelits, actually coordinate with each other. So I'm going to select where I'm going to use the rose on one of the wings. I did originally think I was going to use two, but I end up only using one. So I've got this Tim Holtz Ranger diffuser here that I love using with my embossing folders. Did have to dust it off, haven't used it for a while. I've got this basic black cardstock that we're going to use as a card base and the Kaisercraft lattice embossing folder. So I place the cardstock in the folder, placing the diffuser on top. Now the diffuser is the same thickness as a plate here, a standard cutting plate. So the sandwich we'll be making is opening up the platform to tab 2. I only need one cutting plate, placing this down and then placing the cutting mat on the top and then running that through the big shot. The diffuser only embosses where it applies pressure. So you can see it's got the oval not embossed, which is a great added feature and element to your card. I love using this diffuser. As I said, had to dust it off, but I'm so glad I did. So I ended up using one butterfly die cut out only for my card. And the butterfly framelits here, the Stampin' Up butterflies, is the detailed version. And I've run that through the big shot with basic black and parchment paper. Same designer series paper for the sentiment I'm going to stamp on, just a lighter version. Now this coordinates with basic black and Sahara sand and very vanilla. Love this combination. It's very elegant color combination. Using my VersaFine Onyx Black ink, I stamp the sentiment from the bold watercolor stamp set, watercolor wings, there it is, that you are so kind. Isn't it just lovely? Okay, so I snip the edges off with my paper snips here, and I do wait a minute before I do cut because the VersaFine does take an extra minute to dry, and I'm handling a sentiment. I don't want to smudge it. So the adhesive of choice that I'm going to be using is dimensionals and glue dots. The dimensionals are going to be placed behind the butterfly base, the full version here, and then the framelits is going to be using glue dots just applied on the center of the butterfly. There you go. It's such a detailed, intricate die. I just love it. Look at this. It's just beautiful. Okay, now for the sentiment, I'm going to be placing two dimensionals behind. I prop up the wings here and I want to keep it propped up to have that 3D element. So that's why I only place the dimensionals, only two of them, in the center to help keep that 3D look on the card. Because it pops up. Isn't it beautiful? There you go. Placing that sentiment on the top. I didn't want to squash the butterfly down. So to carry the same theme, I've done the inside of the card with Sahara sand there as a base because I do want to see, my writing when I do write in the card. And then the same designer series paper on the inside. Here I am using my tool-in-one to poke out any of the actual left cardstock that's behind on the framelit. And so I cut a strip out and I just place that. So it's the same designer series paper, the rose, that I've used in front of the card, and just cutting the same strip and using that on the inside and just placing it on the bottom. Then just glue dotting my butterfly down so everything gets adhered down. So thanks for watching Thank Card. It's Friday. I hope you have a lovely weekend and happy paper crafting. See you later.